So the Lions, we all know, it's still a little bit of a hangover effect for us. We still know that the Lions.
The sky is falling.
I know
over.
the sky.
God.
The panic meter, ding, 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 way up there.
Take me now.
Remember when you go? You guys probably never went to the circus. You went to
Come
the
on,
circus.
man. Ringling Brothers.
I'm not saying you. I'm talking about Brendan.
No, I got you.
And
Barnum
people are using the big mallet, and then it shoots up, right?
100%.
And
the big bald head guy with the spinny mustache.
That's him right there.
The spinny mustache.
Spinny mustache.
Spin
I think I
dog.
won when I was
100%.
like
And the
like
onesie.
The guy you don't trust necessarily.
Hell nah.
Where do you think that panic meter is right now for Lions fans? Where is it?
It's all the way at the top because
You think so?
I just speaking from what I know, I've talked to a couple guys.
Some people are panicking.
I think everybody's panicking in their own way, and that's why I say it's up to the top. Now, just because you want to lie about it, be sneaky about your panic, like that's not got nothing to do. So many people, I was talking to an individual that he would say nothing bad about the Lions, and every time they may lose a game and things like that, he'll just push the goalpost back. They lost to Green Bay. It's Green Bay. It's the beginning of the season. Blah, blah. Oh, you lose to the Chiefs. Oh, it's the Chiefs, and you lose to Eagles and blah blah blah. But I'm listening to the conversation. Like, what do you feel about? He's like, Dan Campbell just scaring me right now. You know what I'm saying? The offense is scaring me a little bit right now. Like I think the Lions are there it is. That's how you know it's all the way at the top. Because every Lions fan, they will now say this. They will preface it. Well, I think there was no thinking back in September. There was no thinking after,
It was just belief.
There was no thinking after you beat the Chicago Bears 52-14.
Right.
There was no thinking after you got back on track against the Commanders. Okay, we're back. Everyone now thinks that the Lions are going to get to the playoffs. Not even necessarily win the division anymore. They think the Lions will get there, and they think the Lions will make some noise in the playoffs. I think everybody's meter is at the full tip, whether they want to believe it or not. I mean, whether they want to be honest about it.
I'm. You know what? You've made me think, as you usually do. I'm trying to decipher where I'm at. I'm not overly concerned yet.
Okay.
I'm not, and that sounds, quite honestly, when I say it out loud like that, sounds stupid. It does. No, it really does. It sounds stupid. I mean, they're 6-4. They don't have a signature win. They've alternated wins and losses.
Right.
And maybe my belief is way too strong. But it does. It sounds stupid. How can you not be concerned over a team that's 6-4 and would be the outside looking in? Let me give you the reasons.
Okay.
Talk to us, Shep.
If the playoffs started today, Brendan knows. He's put this graphic together. They're out. You know that too. I want you to, and I want you to think about this though, okay? I want you to be serious with yourself. How many teams do you truly believe are better than Detroit? And I'm not talking about, hey, let's get into our personal power rankings and all this stuff. There are so many question marks regarding the National Football League right now, but especially in the NFC. So Braylon said to me before the show started, he's like, look, there's only one team in the NFC that you truly believe in, okay? You said this. The Rams, right? That's what you said.
Yes, 100%.
Okay. And I said, what about Philly? And you said, I don't believe in their offense. And you gave me some really good reasons.
Yeah.
They just beat Detroit. Fair enough.
That's different conversation, though.
It is.
It's different.
Yep. But overall,
Yeah.
if I said to you, you had to play this team on a neutral site,
Yeah.
the Lions against, and then I'll give you a team, I bet you it's the Rams, it's the Eagles, and maybe Seattle. And you don't believe in Sam Darnold, so you're going to have a hard time convincing me you'd take Seattle in the NFC. And that's about it. Now, we can include the AFC, and I understand why you take perhaps the Broncos. You always put across stuff. Maybe the Colts, right? The Patriots. Maybe the Bills. I doubt it. But because a week ago you were trashing them, and for good reason.
But it's not about me trashing them. It's about me looking at what I've seen against the Detroit Lions.
I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. You've made that clear, and it's a good description. Yeah. My point is, there's still a top 8 football team in the National Football League by most people's standards. Does that settle you down just a little bit, or no? I mean, unless you think Chicago is better than they are, and unless you think Green Bay is, which I don't. But go ahead.
Green Bay's got too many major injuries. Josh Jacobs being injured, Tucker Kraft being injured. Tucker Kraft was 41% of their offense, and you saw what it looked like when he wasn't there. You saw the Eagles game. They did a similar thing the Lions did. Defense was outstanding against the Eagles, but the offense couldn't give them anything, and so they were able to score points. It looked exactly like the Lions game. I had exactly the teams you said in terms of who I believe is better than them. Yes, sure, they're still a top 8 team right now. But, Shep, they're a top 8 team that is descending, or whichever way you're looking, they're descending rapidly.
Okay.
Because when we were having this conversation before they lost to the Vikings, it was, oh, well, this team is here. They're top 4, or they're top 5, they're top 3, trying to figure it out. They're going to take that step. They then lost to a Vikings team, and we know what that offense for the Vikings looked like. There's a lot of complaint going on right there, and that's the team to beat us because of the defense. And then you look at the Eagles game, and then you look at the Chiefs game, and you see the similar things rearing their head, which is the offensive line. You see the offensive line and struggling.
Yeah.
And looking at it that way, I look at this being why I chose these teams ahead of the Lions. Offensively and defensively, I think there is more fluidity in these teams. I think they are just as good as Lions, better than Lions defensively. And then offensively, I think they have enough, or they're much better than the Lions. So that's why I have these teams over the Lions right now. Can that turn? 100%. Players are coming back. Our secondary will look better. Maybe they figure out some things, and then we'll see what happens in the next games. They play the Giants, followed by the Packers, followed by the Cowboys, right?
Yes, correct.
Followed by
all
the
at home. Yep.
All at home. 3 home games, 3 winnable games. That one at the end, we'll talk about that a little bit more because I think Dallas is the same team as the Lions currently.
Ooh. Yeah.
Is there a problem?
No.
Is there a problem? If you're talking about points scored, Dallas is doing it better than anyone in the league right now. If you're talking about what the defense looks like with Clark and Quentin Williams in the middle, that's what's giving us problems is the defensive line. Well, they got Quentin Williams and Clark in the middle right now, and it's looking like something.
I think it's debatable, but I understand your point.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't think in no realm they're better.
Yeah.
I'm saying, but they're on the same level as of right now. Yeah, so you just look at it and you just want to see more constant fluidity off both sides. I think when there's something wrong, how do I say this again? Watching that Lions game, going back and watching the film from the Eagles game and some of the pressures, it wasn't even just about the defensive line. You start to watch more of the game, there was some mix-up in where players were supposed to be. There was some mix-up in where passes were supposed to be. So when you dive into it, it's not just the offensive line had a bad game and they didn't protect.
Right.
There was more mistakes to go around than I thought.
Should that how concerning is that considering we're this deep into a season? Is that a common occurrence, do you think, with good teams? I'm not talking about crappy teams.
100%, because the thing about it is, and you talked about this, I don't want to steal this from you. You said yesterday off air, I'm giving you the credit, the Eagles wasn't a cause for concern for you. It was a great opponent. It was on the road. It was a team that just won the Super Bowl, and all those things are true, and they lost with that defense. He's like, they lost to the best defense in the NFL. There's no shame in that. The Vikings loss is the one that got you, and you're 1,000% correct. So, no, I tell you the story all the time about the 49-3 ass whooping I took when I was with the Jets and we played the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Like, yeah, I mean, you don't want to lose 49-3. They were the best team in the league, and they clearly showed us at that particular moment. So you don't place too much in it. But it's just the fact that here we are, week 12, and we're still trying to figure out what is this offensive line going to be, because they're getting closer and closer and closer. And these teams, see the difference in these teams and why I think they're better? See, the Patriots have gotten better and better and better and better and better.
Right.
Like, you're waiting for the Patriots to fall off the cliff, and you're realizing Vrabel knows what the hell he's doing. The Bills, the Bills are the Bills. You can throw them out with the bath water if you want to. The Broncos, I do not like the offense, but they've gotten better and better and better and better as a team. And on defense, they are effing real.
On top of that, they meet one of your criteria. When you talk about show me who you've beaten, like you had this last week, who the teams they've beaten and which teams have they lost to. And the Chiefs and Vikings losses bothered me. It shook me because I think Detroit's better than them.
100%.
I can almost accept a first-season loss to Green Bay, new coordinators, 2 new guards, a new center. I can make plenty of excuses in that regard. It's not excuses, but it's understanding, okay? And Philadelphia, to a certain extent, maybe the weather, we all know the records. The 2 losses with Minnesota and Kansas City really shook me. If you want to be proven right, look at Denver and look at who they've beaten. They've beaten some really good football teams.
Yeah, and then the 1,000% in the last 2, you look at the Eagles and what the Eagles did. The Eagles' defense is nearing a different level right now. Yeah. Like that addition of Jalen Phillips and the addition of bringing Brandon Graham back, working with that defensive line, like they are taking it to another level. Nakobe Dean, This is the N'Kobe Dean that I could not figure out how he went in the second round. This is the N'Kobe Dean we saw in the national championship 2 years in a row. So the Eagles have gotten better on defense, and the offense, it's been this for 3 years, essentially, minus Saquon Barkley. The Rams are the Rams. They've gotten better and better and better and better. And then that Seahawks defense is legit. Because if you don't believe in the Seahawks defense, Matt Stafford's probably the top runner for the MVP.
Yeah.
Held him to a $130.
Right.
And they snuck a touchdown early.
And 2 short touchdown passes.
He had good field position. So that Seattle defense is real. So it's not like, oh, well, we're better offensively than them.
So 100%. So, but let me use the Braylon Edwards argument on Braylon Edwards. If you think it's the Rams and nobody else, and this is where the eye test comes into play, specifically your eyes, which I trust more than just about anybody else's when it comes to this stuff. If I said to you that a team had beaten the Chiefs, the Rams, the Bucks, the Vikings, the Packers, and the Lions, those 5 teams, you would say that team is arguably the best in football. And they are the number 1 seed in the NFC right now, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles.
This is very true, and they did beat the Los Angeles Rams early in the year. It's about when you play them the whole 9 yards. You're right. That resume is solid as gold. Yep. Look me in my face and tell me that Sean McVay and Matt Stafford and that Los Angeles Rams offense would have done the same exact thing that the Detroit Lions did against against Philly. Like, Philly on offense is horrible. Philly on offense is not playing good by any means. There's beefing with A.J. Brown, and it's getting to an all-time high. You even have Jalen Hurts coming out now saying some things. But like, it's getting to the point where it's off the rails.
They don't have the balance they had a year ago.
100%. So defensively, they're amazing. But on offense, you're just waiting for them to implode. You're waiting for Jalen Hurts to give you the ball. You're waiting for something to happen. You're waiting for A.J. Brown not to finish one of his routes, and here's an interception by the safety.
Right.
Like, that's what you're waiting for with the Eagles. Yes, I trust that defense, but the Eagles are going to leave you in the game. Like, the Eagles left Green Bay in the game, and they were waiting for Green Bay to score, and they couldn't. Yeah. They left us in the game. They were waiting for us to do something, and we couldn't. So that's why I don't fully trust the Eagles, because the Rams, they're going to do something to them.
Yeah,
that's how Seattle. I think Seattle could do something to them, realistically. So that's why the Eagles is still a holdback for me, because they got to figure that out.
Yeah, and I don't think they go downfield very well at all.
And that offensive line, like, now you have Lane Johnson out, and they say it's temporary. What does that look like? Landon Dickerson's been hurt the majority of the year.
Good question.
What does that look like?
It's a really good question. Yeah, this is how it would start today. Eagles will get the bye; they're the 1. Okay, then Stafford and the Rams are the 2. Bucks are the 3, okay? Actually, it's the Bears that are the 3. The Bucks are 4, all right? And then 5 is Seattle, 6 is Green Bay, 7 is San Francisco.
And that's the thing, though. We're talking about who do you the question you asked us, Kool-Aid, was who do we believe is better than the Lions? And I gave you those teams. You didn't say who was, I think, even kill. Because right now, tell me why the Bears aren't even kill. Tell me why the Bucks aren't even killed. Tell me why the 49ers, who are getting back all their players, aren't even killed. Because Brock Purdy, as much as we gave Mac Jones credit, because he did a really good job in the absence, Brock Purdy, it looks so much different when him coming back. I know it was a bad team, but it looks so much different. So they're on.
That's, that I wish I'd have thought of that.
They're even killed with the Lions.
Valid point, man.
Yeah.
And it's not always who's better, but on which level are you with? And
you're not even at the top of the second tier.
Well,
now, what I'm saying is they're like it's conversational with the second tier.
Yes, it's very debatable. For me to sit there and try to tell you that Detroit is better than the Bears, I cannot use the ammunition that they beat them in week 2, because that team is completely different than it was in week 2.
Yep, Eagles also beat the Rams, and we're sitting here saying the Rams are better. So it's the same conversation?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. The only thing I would say is there's some issues with Chicago's offense too.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth debating Caleb Williams and the accuracy, the completion percentage, and certain other stats that he puts up. And I know numbers can be very misleading and deceiving, but I'm having a hard time in watching as much football as you and I do of saying that there's 4 solid teams better than the Lions, but there are others who are equal to it.
Yeah, we haven't been in this position. As Lions fans now, 2.5 years, it's been something we thought we could depend on like clockwork by this time in the season. Yeah. Now you're looking at a situation where you're outside the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Some of these teams that you thought you were clearly better than, it's not just that they are in these positions, but you look at the Bears and their record right now. You're looking at Ben Johnson at offense.
See, you had to say it.
There you go, man. Look, and that's where
it's tough to say, isn't it?
It is tough to say.
It's tough to swallow that,
man. Like I thought that some of these teams were clearly just firmly in the rear view. Like the Bucks, the Packers. I thought we had finally slayed. The Seattle Seahawks. Yeah. But now we see this is the NFL, man. This is not just any given Sunday. But if you want to be one of those teams, this is where I'm hoping the Lions have the recipe. The stuff that we've continued to hold on to, the pride, the stoke, not scared. I'm hoping it is true.
Two things. First thing is when you look at the division for, when you have the conversation about, the panic meter or where's the panic meter or why you would feel a certain way. When you just look at your own division, okay, it's early. We still have a lot of time left, et cetera. It's a lot of time. Mm-hmm. But when you look at your division and you realize you're not first, you're not second, you're third, but then you also lost to the fourth place team in your division. Like, that's just what your division looks like.
And the second place team in your division.
Well, they're ahead, but I'm saying you lost to the team behind you, which more so I was trying to hit that point home. Mm-hmm. Like, that's why it's an okay conversation to have. But looking at, it was another thing. You look at some of these teams, Shep, and what they did is they consistently evolved off season, trade deadline, in season, made moves over years, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Adjustments, yeah.
Like, they made adjustments to stay. Like, it's once you get to a spot, it's not we've arrived. It's how do you stay there? It's how do you get better? Yeah. How do you go further? You look at the Rams, like they legitimately went from Super Bowl to never heard of you to back in this space. The Eagles are like, look, we're going to continue to find ways to push the needle. Hey, we're going to continue to find ways to make ourselves a better brand. You know what? Damn, we paid Devontae Smith and we paid AJ. So we can't do this. How can we work some magic and work some minutia and get another defensive lineman? Oh, well, if we give up this third and we're not going to pay him. Oh, here, like this is what you have to do. You have to find ways to get better. You can't stay stagnant. And the teams at the top, even the Seahawks, like they're like, they were battling with the Lions 3-4 years ago, and then they disappeared with Geno Smith. Now they got Sam Darnold. Now they have Mike McDonald at quarterback. Now their defense is elite.
Your favorite receiver.
Now their defense is elite, and now they're adding to the offense with Shaheed.
Yep.
Like Shaheed's so fast. Did you see the play last week where Sam Darnold hadn't been throwing with him clearly because he underthrew him? Shaheed was 5 yards ahead of in the end zone, and he underthrew it and allowed the DB for the Rams to come and knock the ball away. Wait till he understands that he's that fast, and he knows when to throw it. Mm-hmm.
If I said to you guys, just first glance, which team do you think has the best record within the division, like the divisional record? I've always been a big believer of this. If you want to win your division, you've got to be the best team against the teams that are in your division. So case in point, last year.
Green Bay?
So case in point, Buffalo last year, 5-1 against the AFC East, they won it. Baltimore last year, 4-2 against the AFC North, best record within the North, they won it. Houston, 5-1 against the AFC South, they won it. Lions went undefeated in the division. If I said to you right, the same thing in baseball, by the way. Just watch baseball. Look at who's got the best record within the division. Who's got the best record in the NFC North, do you think? Just real quick.
Green Bay.
Green Bay? Kool-Aid? Real quick.
Man, I'd say Chicago.
Chicago? Brendan?
Green Bay.
It's Minnesota. They're 2-1. It's crazy.
Green Bay is 1-1.
Green Bay, I think, it's 1-1. Detroit's 1-2.
Oh, yeah.
And Chicago's 1-2. Yeah.
No, the tie was. The tie was against Dallas.
That
was against Dallas.
That was outside the division. Yeah.
Okay.
So, just something to follow. Okay, you got a few more games left. Still have to go to get Green Bay at Thanksgiving. Got to go to Minnesota. Got to go to Chicago. But I think it's going to be hard to win the division if you don't finish above 500 in the division. That's all I'm saying.
Also, too, man, these games.
We keep it real.
It's almost keep it real. These games they're not going to get any easier. Like, these games aren't going to get any easier. Same for the people that are playing against you, but they're not going to get any easier down the stretch. We talk about the defensive lines that they're going to have to play against. We talk about the teams and what they're going to be, and they're going to be hungry. Also, when you play Chicago the second time around, it's going to be in Chicago in December. And you talk about conditions, whether you like the conversation or not.
It's real, though.
It's a real conversation.
Yeah.